Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here from the Lair, and I believe this is probably going to be the last episode from this particular location. I'm in the middle of tearing everything down, stuffing it in bags and boxes and shit, and in fact, I got movers coming between 9 and 11 tomorrow morning to throw all this shit in a truck and move it 3.5 states away. So, I'm going to answer a question here. Actually, it's a bunch of questions because I had a lot of guys ask me a bunch of stuff, over the past year in regards to this. This is a question I got from one of those naysayers out there. Okay, why do you not try to fix the situation that is now the bad state of affairs between men and women? Don't you think that you have a channel and a voice? It's your responsibility to try to bridge the rift between the sexes as it exists now. Number one, I didn't fucking create the rift. Why the fuck should I fix it? Number two, women get to vote without having to register for the fucking draft. So they get to have an equal say in the government and don't have to risk their fucking lives. Even though they can serve in combat now, and there have been voices out there saying, hey, we should draft women now, and all of a sudden it's abolish the fucking draft. That's again, another fucking glaring example of how feminism wants to have all of the rights, but they don't want any of the lefts. Because life is a fight, and as we all know, any fight has rights and lefts. Okay, as long as women get to vote, their votes are usually based off of emotion. And when you vote with emotion, usually it doesn't go anywhere good. Okay, that's another thing that the left likes to do, especially with the media, is get everybody whipped up into a soiree and then say, hey, we need to vote on this, and then it's all fucked up. Okay, I mean, now that, the left is wanting to basically disassemble the Constitution of the United States, which I can almost guarantee you will end in bloodshed for everyone involved in that. Just my opinion, of course. Just saying. Okay, women want the government to be the provider. Thus, they take more out of the system that they give back. And their children, statistically speaking, are not productive and wind up in prison or funny farms and cost the taxpayers yet more cash. Number 5. Until the general population learns that feminism is taking us nowhere good, I will not recommend nor instruct men to do anything but take care of themselves. As a leader of men, I follow 2 basic rules. Lead from the front and by example. And some other tertiary rules, which is I never, in my military career, have ever asked anyone to do anything I haven't done myself, or I'm not willing to do myself. Period. So there you go. I will not ask men to sacrifice themselves on any other altar of freedom or for civilization or for the Western culture. I won't do it. It is so goddamn imbalanced that a house divided cannot stand. Let it fall and we'll build it again from the fucking the rubble. Number 6, when the status quo, as it stands now, falls on its face, goes bankrupt, and we have utter pandemonium going on. If I'm alive and I can, come find me. Bring a rucksack, have all year, all season gear, bring a basic load, and have a set of good walking boots. I can't guarantee you or I will see the end, but it will be a good ride just the same. All right. So, little miss, I'm not even going to say your email address. Don't put that kind of shit on me. It's not my fucking responsibility to fix your fuck-ups. Okay, feminism has radically fucked the Western culture up, and it's going to fall even faster than it has been. It's just my opinion. But, you have to look at the totality of the circumstances. Let's see, you had welfare, and then you had no-fault divorce. Since that combination, took place, we've had the prison population explode 700% between 1970 and 2010. We have 1 in 4 women on a head med. We have 1 in 5 men and young boy on a head med. Let's see. Our men are killing themselves at breakneck speed. And let's see. Women, when they're surveyed, are even more unhappy today than they were just after World War II. Women are winding up in poverty at older ages. And, it's not going anywhere good, and I don't see us pulling out of the nosedive anytime soon. So, with that being said, fuck off. All right, now I've had some people ask me questions about my swords that I have on the wall here. Since I'm packing these up, I'm gonna go through them with you here. So here we go. This here is a Hussar saber. I like sabers. This is a replica of one of the early 1900s Hussar sabers. I believe it was just before World War I, and horse cavalry went out of business with machine guns and other nasty ass shit. This is a high carbon steel. It does rust, and I like all my other swords, they're all battle ready functional blades. And I, take care of them twice a year. All right, now we got this one here. All right, this is another Hussar saber. I had this made in Poland. All of the other ones are made from the same maker. You see, it's got an actual wood sheath. I got the good brass furniture, so it looks good when you hang it up. It's got a guide right here for the prongs off of the scabbard, or the pommel, and the handguard, so it pretty much fits into the scabbard without dinging up the blade too badly. This one is basically weighted at the end. This is a replica of one that was from the late 1800s. It's a Hungarian saber, a Hussar saber, from that portion of the world. One of the reasons why I like these is I watched an episode of Fight Science, and I saw how these blades pretty much, for a one-handed blade, outperformed everything else, to include the samurai sword, one-handed. So, and they look fucking pretty badass, so I figured, hey, why not? I got nothing better to do with my money. I'm not married. Fuck it, gotta have a hobby. Alright, this here is a cold steel Viking axe. I got pulled over, crossing over to Canada with one of these in the trunk of my car. And I remember, it's actually pretty goddamn sharp too. And so I'm in, sitting on the inside the office, I guess, looking through the glass, and I'm on a bench. And the 2 Canadian custom guys are going through my shit. And I remember one of the Canadian custom guys, pulls it out, takes it apart like this, looks at me and just goes like this. Like, he knew I was fucking up. He knew I was fucking up. So, I knew that it depended upon my answer if they were going to fuck me up or not at the border. So they go, well, what the fuck is the axe for? I told them it was for camping, and they bought it, and they just basically said, don't do that again. And that was it. Could have went either way there. Could have been pretty bad, but, what are you going to do? Okay, this is of all of the sabers that I got from that guy over in Poland, this is my favorite. Right here. Okay, it's got the blood groove, weighted at the end. I don't know, it's balanced well. I'm going to take this and get this professionally sharpened because this one, I think, deserves it. And you can see right here, you can see it right here. There's the maker's mark. So, again, these are all high-grade functional steel blades with the, wood sheaths and the brass furniture, which I liked a lot. Okay, this here is a English Warhammer. This is functional. I've used it, busted up some shit. punched some holes in some sheet metal and broke up some, cinder blocks and stuff. So it does work. So I like that one. That one cost me about 125 bucks. Now this one here, this one here is all. This is just show. I mean, the handle's all clunky. It doesn't really, the hammer is not really secured on the end that well. It's boxy. It's uncomfortable. There's no retaining strap here to keep it in your hand. It's all show and no go. I don't know. I got that one late at night. What are you gonna do? Let's see. This is a cold steel tomahawk. This is the exact one I took to Iraq in 2004. I got the longer handle on it, and it's got the hammer end, so you can actually use it for camping and stuff like that. It comes with another, I think it's an 18 or 21 inch handle, which I think is stupid. I like the longer handles. You get more leverage out of them. Let's see. Here's another good one. Now, I picked this one up online. I don't exactly remember where. But this is a replica of one that was used in the late 1600s, early 1750-ish for Hussar saber. And it still has the packing grease on it. So I've had it sharpened. It's okay. It's not wobbly. It is battle ready, but I'm not going to be using it for any fighting or anything like that. I just like to collect them. All right, and what do we got over here? Now this one here, this is a cutlass. I'm not really impressed with this one. Well, one of the main reasons I don't like it is because the blade is made of stainless steel. It's got a Telwar, cutting blade, which is, weighted well. I ground the edge onto this, and, it will hack through shit. But because it is stainless steel, if you really crank on something, you're going to shatter the blade, and therefore it's just a wall hanger, and that's about it. This one over here, I got this one. This is a cold steel. This is like a hybrid, one of their hybrid sabers. I really like this one. It's curved quite a bit. Again, cold steel. All of their stuff is high carbon, battle ready. It's got a very good functional edge when you get it from cold steel. I got to clean this one up a little bit. I haven't touched this one, I think, in almost a year. That's one of the downsides of having carbon steel blades. Is you got to keep them, oiled up, or they will spot rust. And if you're in a very humid environment, they will rust. And this sheath is, it's not wood. It's made of animal hide, and it's been highly cured, so it's very hard, but it does retain moisture. So that is a downside. Okay, and let me see if I can get to these two blades up here without fucking up my microphone. So hang on. I'll just pull down the top one. I'll show it to you. Let's see here. There we go. All right. This is a 1.5-hand bastard sword. Okay, this is made by Windlass Armory. Has a good functional edge on it. I've used this to hack through 2x4s, cut through a couple of saplings that were about 3 and 4 inches across, and then used it to chop through chain link fence. And it didn't ding up the blade at all. Just very minor dings in the edge. I was able to grind them out. You can't even see them now. So, it's got a very good spring steel, and it's well balanced, full tang. It's got a counterweight on the back. The only downside to the counterweight is it does screw on. So, I mean, what do you want? It's Winless Armory. I got it. I think I got this one for like 120 bucks. The other one up there is just like it. That was done on a late night Ambien purchase. Don't really remember the details. It just showed up at my door. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Now, this last one over here, really like this one. I'm gonna try to grab it right now, see if I can get to it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Yeah. Let's see. Alright. Now, one of the reasons why I like this is, you look at this basket hilt on this. It's a full basket hilt, so you can use it on left or right-handed. It's got a very, very short, thick, heavy blade. Again, it's weighted at the end. This will take a very wicked edge. It's short enough so you can block with it and counter thrust and cut. But it does lack reach. But it was a cutlass, so on a lot of the ships back in the 1800s, 1700s, there really wasn't a lot of room, so long blades, might as well just carry a goddamn spear. Not that I'm an expert swordsman or anything, so I'm not, but I have read up on it quite a bit. Kind of bummed out that it does have this green sheath. I wanted a black one, but I don't really give a shit. Once you get beyond that. The belt behind me, let me take that down too. This is the FFKA light heavyweight North American belt, and they refer to it as the Canadian belt. I won this when I used to fight on circuit. And this actually earned me a chance to fight for the FFKA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, which I did in Pennsylvania in '99. I lost in the 10th round by TKO. Basically, I underestimated my opponent, and because he was, about 11 years older than me at the time. I think he was like 39-ish. And he came out to fight, and caught me by surprise. Broke my, actually shattered my ribs on the left side, second round, and then the doctor stopped it in the 10th round because I was cut too bad to continue. I had a really fucking bad cut over my left eye. And since I had broken ribs, it was really hard to fight across your center line, so it was hard for me to punch across your center line because it just fucking hurt like fuck. But I almost took him down twice, and I almost dropped him in the 4th round, and again in I think it was the 6th round. Right hands, overhand rights. I called the garbage punch. After that, he just stayed away from me, cut me up a little bit with his jab, and then just picked me apart. There's nothing I could do. I mean, I was fucking broken. But it didn't seem right to quit, and he was right not to give me a rematch, because after I saw his tricks the first time, chances are it wouldn't have went well for him in a rematch. He lost the belt after that, and then I tried to fight the guy he lost it to, but then I got married, and it just fucking went south from there. And not to mention, by the time I was at that level, I was 29, 30-ish. And, you and I both know a lot of guys who stay in the game too long, they get fucked up and get hurt. And if I had won the world title, I would have defended it because it's a pride thing. And I probably would have held it for between 3 and 5 years, and that kind of abuse at that level adds up. So, and to be honest with you, I learned a lot of life lessons because of that loss, and actually helped me to move on in my military career and save lives. Because one of the more important lessons I learned from facing off against the world champ is don't ever, ever underestimate anything in any way, shape, or form. And I carried that lesson forward when I went to Iraq in '04, and I brought all 159 men home. Had to step on some toes, upset a lot of people, to include a couple generals, a full-bird colonel, and 2 lieutenant colonels, the Michigan National Guard tag, the Michigan National Guard sergeant major. The sergeant major of the Army at the time was Preston, who was a fucking piece of shit. And, you know, hey, what are you going to do? Anyway, we're going on 21 minutes here, gentlemen. And I got coming up on 9:30. And I got a lot of work to do. So hopefully I'll have a better lair. Chances are it's going to be in a basement, so I'll have to light it a little better, which I will. So, gentlemen, take it easy. Talk to you later.